This time I'd like to bring up Dr. Vance Moore. He will talk to you about our project overview at Rainbow Omega. Dr. Moore is a founding board member at Rainbow Omega, vice chairman of the board. He operates a private practice in Oxford. He's just finished up his 36th year in Oxford. Dr. Moore treats all the residents at Rainbow Omega. He is an elder at the Oxford Church of Christ. So please give a welcome to Dr. Vance Moore.
Good evening. I want to join Jeff Spiegel in welcoming you to our 25th annual fundraising dinner here in Birmingham. I believe Coach Gene Stallings was our speaker 25 years ago for this first dinner that we had here, and what a pleasure it was to have him back 2 years ago, celebrating our 20th year of opening the homes. Tonight, I'll just briefly update you, and then we'll have a very special presentation. Rainbow Omega continues to provide full-time residential care for 82 adults through 7 group homes with 8 residents in each house, plus the 2 intermediate care facilities that provide medical care and personal assistance for 26 adults with more severe limitations and disabilities. Most of the residents work in the vocational program Monday through Friday, and we have 5 individuals from the community who come for the day to work also. Honda of America in Lincoln, Alabama, remains our largest employment contract. And in fact, they are now expanding work for our residents. And we still do work for a company out of Tallahassee called Neptune Technology Group. The Work Center also houses a day hab program where the residents attend classes to learn life lessons and safety skills. If you've been to Rainbow Omega, you know we have greenhouses, and the greenhouses continue to be an important part of the vocational program, allowing residents to grow plants for every season, with a number of plants exceeding 20,000 every year. The blueberry and blackberry hillside bushes we planted a couple of years ago are now more mature and provide lots of fruit for the residents and the staff, as well as being sold to the public. Our exposure and marketing will be enhanced with the upcoming construction of the Rainbow Garden Center at the entrance to the property, providing more jobs and more revenue. As far as updating you on capital improvements this past year since our last dinner together, the S&S ICF home, which houses 10 residents, was expanded to provide more living space and some nursing space. We were also able to purchase more of the properties around us to protect our borders and allow for future growth, giving Rainbow Omega 351 acres now. And many of the homes this past year received upgrades in paint and flooring and furniture. Our operating budget for this year is $6.7 million. And yes, it takes a lot of money to provide full-time residential care and jobs for 82 adults. Our families continue to pay less than half the cost, so a fundraising event like this dinner is extremely important for Rainbow Omega to continue to provide the level of care we strive for. From the day we opened the homes 22 years ago, our goal has been to provide lifelong care for the residents, a lot of whom unfortunately suffer from physical and mental decline as they get older. This just means we have to adapt our services to achieve the goal of lifelong care. In conclusion, I want to thank each of you for coming tonight. I know I speak for the entire board of directors and the staff and the residents of Rainbow Omega in thanking you for coming and asking you to give generously to this wonderful organization. I will now turn the microphone over to our chairman of the board, Stentson Carpenter.
I'm really worried about tonight, and our governor being here, and Ernie Johnson being here, and I've heard so many good things about Mr. Johnson. And I was excited about hearing his story, and it has really touched me. The Blackberry moments, I will never forget that. So, some of the things he said, it makes me want to do better. It makes me want to touch people. There are a lot of good things to do, but Diane and I chose this, to try to touch the families and their sons and daughters. And we don't know what the future is. Maybe some of you were there the night in 1993 at the club. It sort of all started there. We raised money that night to purchase our first piece of property to begin to build Rainbow Omega. And we raised enough money to buy 83 acres, close to 100,000. And we've already raised tonight close to 100,000. Sometimes during the early months of a child coming into your life, a handicapped child, it can do two things to a family that I have found. It can make that family stronger, or it can tear that family apart. And many times, some it does. I've met families that is torn apart. And it breaks my heart to see that. But it made our family stronger. And to hearing Ernie tonight, it made him a better person. Sometimes in our storms in life, it makes it easier to serve other people because of the storms in your life. Diane and I have parented two boys, Chris and Mike, where their abilities to live free in the community of their choice as adults are literally worlds apart. And we'd give anything to have our Chris capable of a life like his brother Mike. But I've had to accept this reality. He will need help for even the simplest daily task for the rest of his life. And despite what I would want for him, I can no more change that than a father can look at his child that's in a wheelchair and ask him to stand up and walk. And Chris's choice was made years ago, and his is Rainbow Omega. And the community there that we've tried to build and to put into it all the things that families would want for their child. And a lot of things I hear is that I want to know before I pass that my child will receive the love and the comfort and safety until they go to meet Jesus. And because that's what we want for our son, we were able to help so many people. And I've actually, with my eyes, I can look back and see the greatness that has come out of a mustard seed. But all of you have been a part of that. I've met so many people that want to be a part of Rainbow Omega. Chris is at his best with his peers, and some of his greatest moments and greatest independence comes only with the necessary support that allows him to do things he wants. It's a true acceptance of a person's disability that their time will come to achieve. And to be an advocate for Chris, I go to Montgomery a good bit to see our lawmakers and to visit our governor and talk about lobbying. That's not what I do. I go there to advocate for people like my son and others. And so I know to be Chris's choice to be Rainbow Omega. We are his parents, and this is what we know. To make our dream come to where it is today, it does take money. Many of you have given already. And anyone here tonight that would like to make a donation as they leave or before, we would appreciate it. I've left the script. My wife has told me to stick with it. But we've heard some good spiritual things. And if you'd like in on the blessing of Rainbow Omega, there's a lot of ways you can do that. But one tonight is giving of your means. And whatever you feel like you could do, we at Rainbow Omega would appreciate it. We make $1 go a long way at Rainbow Omega. Our board of directors is a wonderful board and supports, as he said tonight, it's the right thing to do. And so as we close, I'm on the tables. I think there are some ways that you can make a gift, and someone at the back with the Rainbow Omega tag on them would be glad to take them up. It's been a good night for us. I'm glad you came, Mr. Ernie. He was at our place today, and it was just natural for him. And our residents, they picked up on that right away. And Mickey was right there wanting to know if he would be his friend. And he assured him that he would. And if you would come to Rainbow Omega and let these people touch your lives, never forget it. Thank you very much for tonight, and I'm glad all of you come. Are we going to get them to hold them up, or are they going to take them up? Okay, if you hold them up, if you have an envelope, they'll come around and pick them up. And if they miss you, you can pick it up at the back door. I think they got people at the back door lined up to do that. So with all that said, thank you, and I hope we'll see you next year at the same place. Thank you.